get out of here. There was like a 10% part of me that was like, please be a breakdown, please. And they did. Welcome back, and thank you for joining me for another reaction video. If you are new here, please don't forget to subscribe and turn on those notifications, because if I'm honest, that helps me out a lot, and hopefully it makes sure that you won't miss these when they go live. Now, today's a special one because I haven't listened to this band in a hot minute. My first reaction to them was a song called Doomsday, and I loved it. As a first listen, I thought it was awesome. I loved it even more when you guys explained the sentiment, the meaning, the sadness behind it. I think it's a really special song. I think they're a special band, and I've been meaning to get back into them, but they just gave me a reason. They dropped a brand new video for a song called Animals a couple days ago, and I'm super psyched to get stuck into it. So, Architects, Animals. Let's see what you got. Hang on a second. Whoa, back to the start. Wow, what a start to a song. Okay, slightly deceptive, because that beginning piece, you feel quite settled in it. You don't know where it's going, so you kind of relax, and then all of a sudden, that anticlimax little pause, and then into the heavy bits. But that first initial synth work they're doing there it's interesting to me, because it sounds a bit like when you play a record backwards. It sounds like notes are reversed, because they seem to have a soft start and a sharp end, which is the opposite of what you get when you hit a note on a guitar, or you hit a key, because you get a sharp start and then it decays out. So be cool to hear that again. That riff is tight, it's heavy. The guitar sounds like it's got a lot of digital drive on fuzz. It sounds like it's got a lot of fuzz. Fuzz is a cool effect you can use to kind of create fullness, but you can still hear that chord progression, really nice. And there's a cool relationship between the guitars and the drums there, because the drums are doing very, very simple, deliberate work, not overplaying the hi-hats, kind of single hits, it sounds like. Deliberate snare placement, you can hear that single kick, and then the guitar's doing like little gallops up and down that palm muting piece, and then moving along with the notes and dragging certain notes out. It's just very cool. I need to hear this again, because there's something happening with the cymbals, but I can't quite place it. I didn't catch it, so I want to hear it again. But what a start to a song. I didn't hear those whispers in the first time. Okay, this is a good place to stop and track forward. So when you record drum, first of all, the mixing and mastering on this is phenomenal. Whoever did that, buy that person a beer, a car, a house, whatever they want, because it's so tight, so full, and there's so much going on. There's like the full bandwidth of that EQ is shining through, all the highs, the low mids, lows mids, everything is just working. One thing about the guitar there was a nice little quick, sounded like a little kind of almost dissonant chord, but it made me think of when you take your pick and you play above the nut on your guitar, where your strings kind of meet and then go to the machine heads. And if you play that, you get this weird like kind of harp sound, and if you put a certain effect on, it could have been done that way, I'm not sure. The cymbals are, the thing that I'm picking up is when you record a drum kit, they'll pan the pieces of the kit to the sides of your headphones. So if you get a gap, please listen to this with headphones, because it's an experience. And that cymbal sounds like a throwaway sound. So it's like in the top right, it feels like it's in the top right. Top meaning because of the frequency, they're able to push it up and spatial effects, and then right because they've actually panned it a bit to the right, and because of the cymbal sound to it, it's got quite a harsh ring out. It sounds like it's moving away every time they hit it, and it's very cool, man. It's awesome. It's just great placement. I'm in.
I do my best, but everything seems ominous. Not feeling blessed, quite the opposite. This shouldn't feel so monotonous. It never rains, but it pours.
Okay, that's an important part there. I like the structure, man. Deceptive start, heavy piece, pull it all away. It wasn't empty, but they definitely pulled out all that distortion. There was, I think, some guitar work going on, a lot of synth stuff happening, and then just these vocals. His vocals were layered. I'm pretty sure they were just really tightly packed together, so you couldn't tell the separation, which is a good thing. And then when the drums came in, it sounded like his voice blended more with the music and wasn't as primary a sound. You could still hear every word, you could still hear everything. And then again there, when the distortion and stuff was coming in and he kind of changed the rasp on it, it shot back to the front. There's a lot of movement in the song, and it's awesome.
This shouldn't feel so monotonous. It never rains, but it pours. We're just a bunch of fucking animals, but we're afraid of the outcome. Don't cry to me because the fiction that we're living in says I should pull the pin.
Man, what a chorus. That's actually a fantastic place to pause. I will go back because I want to track it in, but that might be the thumbnail. That is a killer chorus. Super catchy. Music just being a beautiful canvas for him to sing on top of. Drummer did something really nice there. Me and my air drumming, I seem to catch myself out a lot of the times because I'm just not a great drummer to start with. But he's playing the simple 4/4, and then he all of a sudden just syncopates a certain piece where it's a quick snare hit and then a cymbal hit straight away, and it just breaks up any potential for that monotony in there. And there wouldn't be because it's so catchy, but it's just a nice attention to detail and care. Change it up a bit. There is definitely this like vocal sounding, sounds like a woo. It sounds like this loop in the background, and it keeps like repeating. And it's a nice melodic piece that sounds like it sits on top of the music, a little bit back, and it reminds me a little bit of, it's a kind of style of like processing editing that Ellie Goulding uses in some of her older stuff. She would put a lot of that kind of stuff in the background to enhance some of the front vocal, and I think it's fantastic. I think it's really working in this song. I'm a big fan.
Don't cry to me because the fiction that we're living in says I should pull the pin. Should I just pull the pin? Should I just pull the pin? I've done my hands, I thought that I could stop the road. The ground gave way, now I've
Okay, ordinarily I would stop earlier than that, and you guys know me, pause master, but you know, they've gone into this next verse piece, they've come in with the drum fill straight away. It's that repetitive loop around the toms, and it creates a nice pattern and rhythm. And that's normally something I'd stop and point out and go, oh, they didn't do this in the first verse. But I heard something else. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't imagining things. There's a pulse happening. It's like a and it's this digital synth in the background that sounds like it's got a volume switch on it that keeps like shooting in and out. It's fantastic because it's got that's got a nice relationship with the busyness of the drums, but because the drums have a tonal value, and I'm not saying that doesn't, because it isn't a click track or anything, it's just this pulsing that's happening, but because it's more one-dimensional, I think the drums working with it is really nice, and I think I just think this is brilliant.
I've done my hands, I thought that I could stop the road. The ground gave way, now I've lost the plot. Fucked it again, that was all I've got.
Cool video.
It never ends, but it pours. Life is just a dream within a.
So you can tell a lot of people out there, when they're watching some of my reactions, they go, this is not a first listen. You've heard this before. How did you know that was going to come in? It's pretty simple. A lot of these stylized pieces aren't new. They've been done loads before. Thing is, they're doing it very, very well. When there's a break like that, it's normally going to be 1 or 2 full bars. I knew the minute he started doing the whisper piece in the second part, you're pretty confident of when that's going to kick in, and it did. And that's not a bad thing. I think knowing that as a musician, and as someone who's kind of obsessed with melody and structure, songwriting. It makes the experience really fun for me. It confirms certain things that I'm predicting, and it makes it a really fun journey. And if you don't know those things as a listener, you're surprised by them anyway. So it's a win-win. Don't hate, appreciate. Hang on. Okay, bridge time. I hope that I heard that little piece that I just did there, but I hope that that's going to be something that kind of tails up into a heavier, more guitar-dominated piece. Doesn't have to necessarily be like a breakdown or anything. Be cool if it was, but I'm still not very familiar with their sound, so I don't know how to predict that. But I hope that it does lead us into something. Even if it had more of a digital spin on it, I think it would be really nice. I'm excited, man. I always get excited about doing these reactions, but there's certain songs where midway through I'm thinking, don't end. Please don't end.
Don't cry to me, because the fiction that we're living in says I should pull the pin.
Sounds like The Purge.
Buried under dirt, a diamond in the mud. Infinity is waiting there, 'cause nobody can burn a glass cathedral.
There's a lot of stuff happening in the background synth-wise. I like it. There was that siren effect. It almost sounded like then a police siren there. I'm not sure, but there's a lot of stuff happening in the background that I think is there on purpose and there to be heard, but you do have to work for it. And sometimes it's there to create a fullness, fill up certain gaps, make it feel like the piece is really busy. And if you want to, you can kind of dig in and find that Easter egg.
Buried under dirt, a diamond in the mud. Infinity is waiting there, 'cause nobody can burn a glass cathedral.
Get out of here. There was like a 10% part of me that was like, please be a breakdown, please. And they did. And again, they are a tight band, and what they're doing in terms of the instrumentation there isn't ridiculously difficult or anything, but so tight. And yes, I get it. Music video. Yes, I get it. Studio recording. I don't believe they'd be doing anything here they couldn't do live. Not this band. And the tightness of that, I mean, there's a lot of like really important notes about like a band's chemistry. The more you play it together, the tighter you get. So it'll be great to see that live. But what sharp editing. What a damn good song. There's such a nice march element to this piece they started with that they've gone into after their choruses and that they're ending with. It sounds like you can almost like run to it. This would be great on a gym playlist. Doesn't matter what you're doing actually, your output will be significantly increased. Ooh, nice ending. I wanted it to be sharp. I wanted it to be nice and quick ending, but I like that because they almost cut everything really sharply except for that cymbal ring out. So the decay was really natural, organic, and it felt good. Felt like the song ended, but there was something lingering afterwards. That is incredible. That's a fantastic song by a fantastic band. I don't know why I haven't done more. I'm an idiot for not doing more, and I will do more. Architects needs a playlist. It's as simple as that. I just haven't gotten around to it. You do get stuck up sometimes in all these different reactions and requests that come in that you just forget. And, I almost forgot I reacted to these guys to start with. And I want to kick myself for it. But there is always time for more music. And you will always let me know which ones to have a look at. So please, like always, let me know where to go next. I know this is new. I know I've done a much older one. I'm sure there's a ton in the middle. And I can't wait to get to it. Until then, please be safe, be nice to each other, and have a damn good day.